Hello and welcome back to another episode of An Intelligent Discussion. I'm your host, Ben McElroy. A little bit of a different episode this morning. Today I'm interviewing Quincy Bradley Jr., a fellow entrepreneur and real estate agent in the Richmond area. Quincy, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
What's up, everybody? It's Quincy Bradley Jr., local investor, athlete, real estate agent here in the Richmond
Awesome,
area.
Quincy. We're very excited to have you on the podcast. Excited to learn about your journey through the last few years. Why don't you take us back and start with graduating high school, getting into college? What got you to here today?
That's a great question. Yeah, so I graduated high school in 2020, which, as everyone knows, was COVID year. So our last day of school was March 13th. That was the day they kicked us out of school because COVID had hit. Spring break, which was two-week long spring break. 2 week longer spring break, which turned out to be the end of the year. After that, I got into a few schools. I was playing football. I was pretty good. So my whole thing was I went to East Carolina. I walked on, and after the first week of practice, they canceled the season, and that really kind of put me into a swing and was like, okay, now I need to actually figure something out because realistically, I was only in school. I was only at East Carolina to play football. And so since that was taken away from me abruptly because of COVID, I had to figure something out. So I withdrew. I went to a local community college here in the Richmond area, JSarge. I did that for about 2 years, and I was going to transfer out to UVA or Richmond to walk on and play football.
What position did you play in football, Quincy?
I played DN, fullback, D tackle, and middle linebacker.
Awesome. So what made you make the transition from football to real estate?
So I realized that school wasn't for me, and I did a bunch of research to figure out what kind of job I could get that fit everything that I wanted to do. Have a lot of free time, a lot of flexibility, but also be able to run my own business and make a buttload of money. And real estate checked every box, all the pros.
Awesome. So with real estate being the choice that you made, you dived headfirst, no holds barred, no safety net. What was your first year of real estate like? How old were you when you started? What was kind of your first year in that journey?
I was 19. I joined a different brokerage and different team from where I am currently. And the first 6 months, or I think it was 7 months, I did one deal. And that was from last January, which I was 19, all the way to August when I joined my new team, the new brokerage that I'm currently at. I did one deal between that. So it was rough. I was still working a job. I was full-time at Dick's. I was full-time student. I was full-time in real estate. And I was also full-time training because plan was to walk back on and play football. So I was doing 4 high intense things, and I was burned out.
Yeah, the burnout can definitely catch up with you very quickly and kind of unexpectedly. It's one of those things that simmers beneath the surface until it doesn't, and it's not a smooth transition. Yeah.
Yep.
So awesome. When did you decide that changing from doing Dicks, hopefully going back to football, all of these other things, that real estate was going to be the primary focus? Is it when you joined your new team?
Yes, as soon as I joined, I think the last couple of days of July, I quit my job, went full-time, and haven't looked back ever since.
Okay, awesome. And so just so everybody knows, what was the difference between the first brokerage you started at real estate-wise and where you're at now?
That's a very good question. I will say the support definitely wasn't there. And starting when I was 19, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anybody that was in real estate. I got licensed in January, so I was still 19. I turned 20 in May. So essentially, I was still 19 for that whole time. I even joined a small team. I love my old team lead, but I just feel as if it was too new and all the systems weren't really in place to help grow my business and grow me personally and to kind of help my business. The systems weren't there. The training wasn't there. And I truly do feel like I was just a number at the brokerage, and it was a pretty big brokerage. I honestly joined because it was 100% commission. It's funny enough to say, it was just really just thinking about, okay, I'll get paid the most here, but realistically, if I do if I sell one house there at 100%, then I could sell 10 houses somewhere else at 70%. What would I rather have? And that's kind of where I was at, and now I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, no, chasing the almighty dollar is something that you can kind of lose the forest for the trees with, and you're absolutely correct. 100% of one deal is a lot less than 70% of 10 deals. And if you have the support structure and the systems and the process and just the genuine support of a team to help you achieve and maintain, those 10 deals a month are absolutely worthwhile. So,
Yes.
Not to get super specific, because the goal of this podcast is not to hyper focus on any one market, but you have found your way into a special team with special individuals on it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what makes the new team different from your old brokerage?
Another very good question. Well, one thing I'll say is the new brokerage I'm with, if I'm going to throw a name out there, it's EXP Realty. It's probably one of the biggest brokerages out here now in the world, one of the fastest growing. And the whole proximity that we're in. So my team, Jared Davis, shout out to you, my mentor and my team lead. But him and Galen have structured a team that flows so well with the training, with the support, with the leads, with the role play days, and we're always perfecting our craft. And I feel as if I didn't have that in the last place, and the systems that they have built in with the team are untouchable. And then with EXP, we have access to, just in our proximity, probably at least another 100 agents and another top 5 to 10 top teams in the area. So if I really needed somebody else, I have access to those people as well. Compared to at the first place, I was really just stuck with the couple people on my team, the people at my brokerage that I couldn't really talk to, and then my brokers and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I mean that definitely makes all the difference in the world. One of the things in regards to real estate that a lot of people have this preconceived notion of is that it's easy, or that it's something that comes along with very little work. And so one of the myths I want to conquer with you is to kind of get into your daily schedule as far as the discipline that you're tackling this job with, because real estate is a job, and if you want to serve your clients and be a successful and long-lasting agent in the industry, it's not about flexible hours and about showing off with cool cars as much as it is about diligence and consistency and diligence. And so take us through your day, Monday through Friday.
I will say, just a heads up to everybody that's about to hear this, my day is very rigorous. I wake up around 4:30 to 4:45. So Monday through Friday, I wake up around 4:30 to 4:45 in the morning. I'll have my first workout between 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. I'll get back home, shower, do my morning routine, all that good stuff. And by 8 a.m., I am sitting at my desk, or if I'm going into the office that day, I'm at the office and I'm prospecting from 8 to 12. So 4 hours, and let's just say some days where if I have meetings at 8 a.m., I'll be prospecting from 9 to 12. But usually it's from 8 to 12 or 9 to 12. Straight cold calling, just outbound calls. I'm not taking any in calls, no emails, no text messages, nothing. It's just straight cold calling. Whether that's, circle prospecting I just sold, calling a neighborhood that I want to sell in, calling expireds, calling for sale by owners, for rent by owners, just some form of outbound calls for those 3 to 4 hours. And then from 12 to 1 is usually when I take my first break. I sometimes will eat, sometimes I won't, but it really just depends on how busy I am. And then from 1 to 9 p.m., I almost treat it as like a second day. So within the 24 hours, I try to treat my day as in 2. So each 12 hours is almost a day. So from 1 to 9, I'm prospecting again. From 1 to 4, I'll have appointments set. Then from 4 to 6, depending if I have appointments set or not, I'll keep calling. From 6 to 8, I'm hitting the gym again. From 8 to 9, I should be home, showered, all that good stuff, and I'm journaling. And then from 9 to 11, I'm reading, whether that's an hour in Audible, an hour handheld book, or more journaling, meditation, and just more self-help stuff. I watch a lot of stuff for communication, because in real estate, it's all how you can talk and how you can talk to people and how you can provide the most amount of value to somebody. So learning how to speak to people, how the brain works, and all that is really important. So I at least spend an hour on that per day. That's roughly how my day goes.
Awesome. Definitely, it's not for the faint or the weak of heart. As far as discipline, you've clearly got that in leaps and bounds. I've gone to the gym many times with Quincy. He spends a considerable amount of time in the sauna as well. He's also managed to pick up several clients from the gym, which is a huge justification for the time spent there, as well as a beautiful place for networking. Quincy, when you rounded out your first year and a half of real estate, so we'll call it August at your new brokerage to, now December of the next year. So a year and a half in on Jared's team, give us a rundown of your stats if you don't mind.
Close to pending and sold. I believe I'm right around 20, which would be a little over 6 million in volume, like around that.
And he means gross volume of sales as of the price of the house is sold.
Yeah, so $6 million in my pocket.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Not quite.
6 million gross, as in, if I sold a house for 300,000, that is what that $6 million price is.
Mm-hmm. So with us about to head into 2024, you've got 20 closings under your belt so far. What kind of goals do you have for the new year?
I have some pretty big goals for the new year. I will say sales-wise, my goal currently is 52 homes sold, which is just one a week. Currently, I do have one lined up already as of now for January, and I'll probably lock down 3 or 4 more this month. So I'll be running into next year with the head start for sure. Like I said, my goals are pretty big. 52 deals, which is just 4 a month, 1 a week. I also want to dip my foot into the investment side of things. I want to do 12 flips next year.
Okay. And so with those flips, have you already kind of identified with your mentor and potential partners where and what you want to flip first, or is that not yet?
There really isn't a set area or set property that I'm looking to flip. It's really, if it makes sense, the profit's there and the numbers make sense, and there's a deal, I'm going to take it.
Okay, absolutely. That's something that Natalie and I are passionate about, and we also want to begin to do this coming year. Have you, in your personal growth time, read anything that is connected to that, or is that something that you're just learning with your team right now through the brokerage?
I will say I did read Grant Cardone's book, How to Invest in Real Estate. That was a very, very intelligent book, an intellectual book as well. But usually, for the most part, it's just what I'm doing my research on, and a lot of my partners are also flipping, my mentors are flipping, so I'm just kind of dibbling and dabbling with all of their knowledge and picking their brain about everything.
Yeah. I cannot stress enough the beauty and the power and the head start that you can give yourself by surrounding yourself with good people, with good intentions, with the willingness to share the knowledge that they've fought hard to gain. You can save yourself a lot of trouble and pain and paying a lot of stupid tax, as I like to call it, to benefit from their knowledge before you have to find out the hard way. What books have you read this past year and a half that you would recommend to the audience as far as personal growth, development?
Wow, that is another very good question. I will say the first book that comes to my mind is The Go-Giver. That is a very good book. I cannot remember the author's name on the top of my head, but that is a very, very good book that I would definitely recommend. To sum it up, everyone knows what a go-getter is. This whole book was just all about being a go-giver. So you just give, like just continue to give, because it's going to come right back to you. And don't deny what's being given back to you. Accept it, and it'll become fruitful. So it was just really just a whole book on giving and being someone that people can come to, and that you're showing more value to the other person than they may be showing to you.
And that's by Bob Berg, by the way.
Yes.
He's the author of The Go-Giver. It's a very good book. So definitely tithing is a form of giving that has a religious background, but giving your time, giving your intentionality, giving your attention to those around you, whether it's your significant other, whether it's your business partners, whether it's your clients. Intentionality is something that, as our world continues down this path of content and consumption and this selfish idea of what's mine is mine, being generous is truly something that separates those that are good from those that are great. So I'm only going to hearken what Quincy said. That's a great book. Have you any other book recommendations?
I'm glad you asked. I've read almost probably 20 books this year. I've tried to keep on the route of doing one a week, but I will say the one that I currently just finished last week was Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. I know we had spoke about this a few days ago. That is a very good book that I would definitely recommend to everyone. It's just a whole strategy of how to negotiate and how to win arguments and how to get things in your favor. Also, a few more for you guys will be Atomic Habits, which is what I'm currently reading. Another good one is Think and Grow Rich, The Power of Positive Thinking, The 4 Agreements, The Psychology of Selling, which is a very good book as well. Another powerful book will be 48 Laws of Power. It's a more longer book, but the longer the better in some cases. The Laws of Human Nature, which is also by Robert Greene, same author of 48 Laws of Power. And then obviously the GOAT, David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me.
You, in fact, cannot hurt David Goggins more than David Goggins hurts himself.
Got to carry the boats and the logs.
Boats and the logs. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. A lot of those books are books that I've read as well. I have a special place in my heart for Never Split the Difference and for some of the other titles that you've read as well. Atomic Habits by James Cleary is definitely something that has helped me kind of polish my personal habits and to work to reduce and eliminate the actions and activities that I don't want to be doing but continually find myself doing. So definitely books are an incredible source of knowledge, and again, benefiting from the knowledge and experience and expertise of those that have dedicated themselves to things that you don't have the time, effort, intentionality, or resources to do yourself. So big fan of reading, big fan of personal development. I cannot stress enough the importance of it. Quincy, to kind of get it back to what we were talking about previously, you're new to real estate, but you're already doing better than most real estate agents. You've developed the habits and the work cycle to be successful. Kind of digging into what life looks like for you, in the next 5 years. You have such a focused drive to grow and to expand and to improve where you're at now. What kind of efforts intentionally are you doing to network and build relationships with people that are currently at where you're trying to get to? One of the mentors that you threw out previously, Jared Davis. Shout out to Jared Davis. He is awesome. He's a mentor of mine personally as well. He's incredibly generous with his time and resources. He's been featured on multiple other podcasts that are local to the Richmond area. And he currently has a real estate portfolio somewhere in the $30 to $40 million of assets. So he's killing it. Homie is living the dream, but he continues to reinvest his time, his effort, his intentions, and his money into those that he wants to up-level alongside him. So obviously surrounding yourself with people like that is crucial to gain their knowledge and to become like them. You don't magically improve by wanting to improve. You have to take dedicated and strategic steps to do so. What kind of networking and relationship building are you doing?
I will say, to piggyback off what you said at the end, everything is just about taking action. You can have a thought, but if you're not acting on a thought or a great idea, it's trash. So to get back to what you were saying, some of the things I'm doing is just putting myself in the right places. I know I spoke publicly for the first time at a conference. I think it was about 100 agents that I had spoken in front of. But just being in rooms like that with heavy hitters, they personally asked me to speak. It was just how the topic was, how top agents are thriving in this current market. I was the youngest person up there, and after I had finished speaking, I got approached by probably 6 or 7 people that wanted to sit down, and it was just game-changing to see that I am having an impact on the community, and what I'm doing is affecting other people for the better, and it's inspiring people. So that was really good. But ultimately, just putting myself in the right places, meeting the right people, and just doing the things. I feel like I am a true believer. I am religious, but I am a very true believer that the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah, and what is luck if not being in the right place at the right time, and you put yourself in the right place at the right time through the actions that you take. Shout out to Shinedown. They have an awesome line in one of their songs that says the first step is the one you believe in, and the second one might be profound. And that's something that stood out to me a lot, but it kind of echoes the idea of you need to step out and take that step or that leap or that action of faith. And if you don't, you're going to stay where you're at, and you don't typically find growth or change where you're at.
100%.
Yeah, man. So any advice that you have for individuals that are aspiring entrepreneurs or potentially interested in getting into real estate? What should they do, or what can they do, before making the leap to prepare themselves for what that's going to be like?
The first thing is going to be figuring out if this is actually what you want to do. I will say this: real estate is not easy. It is a long-term game. Now, some people come in and crush it their first year or two. They'll come out and crush it way more than I did. But realistically speaking, from my personal experience, it is not easy. And especially if you come in fresh and you're coming out of school, or if you're working another full-time job, or whatever you have going on, it's not easy. It's one of those things that requires a lot of your time. I mean, I remember back when I was working a full-time job, I was missing phone calls of people that wanted to go see properties, and I was always working my other job on the weekends, so I could never prospect and never do open houses. So I was never able to pick up clients, and it was just a domino effect. You don't do one thing and it leads to you not doing 10 more things, and leads you to not picking up any clients. So now that I'm on the outside of that and I see it, because I'm full-time in real estate now that I'm seeing all the things that I'm doing that I could have been doing, it's just like, wow. So I say all that to say it's not easy, and really find someone that's local to you, or if you guys want, if you're looking to get into real estate, you can reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to kind of help you guys out and give you my advice. But find someone that's doing it, or doing what you want to do. See everything that they're doing day to day, and figure out, is that what I want to do? Can I see myself doing that? And go from there.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. As we kind of potentially get towards the end of this podcast, I'll just rapid fire some questions off script as you see how prepared you are. First thing I want to ask is, Quincy, with you being a semi-pro athlete, I know that physical fitness and physical accomplishments are near and dear to you. Kind of give me a rundown of your football stats, your strength stats, kind of where you were at in your prime, or where you're at now. Either one.
Well, the higher numbers would be when I was in my prime.
He says as a 21-year-old.
Hey, back when I was 18, I was pretty strong when I was playing college football and stuff. So I always say the biggest lift that everyone wants to compare to is bench. Mm-hmm. The most I've hit on the bench back when I was 18, 19 was 375.
I hate you.
Ben's shaking his head. I know you guys can't see it, but right now it's a little around like 335, 345 on flat bench. Incline's a whole nother story. I can still hit 315 on incline like it's nothing. Squat, which is my least favorite workout. After having a slip disc, I have stopped back squatting, but the most I've hit was 5 plates with a 25 on each side.
495 plus 50 pounds, you're talking 545.
For 3.
Ooh, good for you, dude. That's awesome. And what was your 40-yard time?
It was a 4.6.
Jeez Louises.
And my deadlift was 6 plates.
I hate you. Good for you. That's incredible. I only hate him because I'm jealous. I hate him because I ain't him.
Well, look, I've retired all those. The only one out of those 4 that I do is bench.
Okay. Yeah, I actually did bench with Quincy yesterday, and it was a humbling experience. But, I'm trying to surround myself with people that are at where I want to be, so we'll get there.
Never be the smartest or best person in any room that you're in. If you are, you need to get into another room, because you're not growing in that room.
Sorry, Quincy, I gotta go.
Wow.
Sorry,
caught me a little off guard, not gonna lie.
Quincy, you are findable on YouTube and Instagram. If you want to throw out your Instagram and YouTube handles, now would be an awesome time.
So my personal Instagram account is Quincy Jr. So it's spelled QUINCYJR. And then my real estate page, where all the fun happens, is at Quincy QUINCY dot real estate, all one word. On my YouTube, if you just type my name in, Quincy Bradley Jr., number 120, 1-year-old real estate agent here in Virginia. All my stuff pops up. TikTok is at Sold by Quincy. I do a lot of stuff on social media, so you guys will see that. Just posted my second YouTube video as of yesterday, how to make over $10,000 a month selling real estate. So if you guys are looking to get into real estate and have some questions, definitely tune into that. And yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, please like and subscribe. Give them a follow. Definitely, if you're already listening to this and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We are on Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram. And hopefully this is the revitalization and first of many, podcasts with interviews with different people in different industries to kind of spread awareness, share their knowledge, and kind of help break down some of the barriers to entry that are often, in my experience, more perceived than physically present. But thank you guys again for tuning in to an intelligent discussion. If you guys have questions or want to see me interview somebody, please reach out. I'm always happy to answer any questions. Thank you again, and have a great day.
So big shout out to Ben for having me on the podcast, and everyone that's listening. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Make sure you guys keep tuning into an intelligent discussion. Ben's going to have some great guests on here, some great discussions, and I'm looking forward to talking with anybody soon. If you have any questions about real estate or entrepreneurship or anything, feel free to reach out to me. And if you need anything else, Ben's got you.
Thank you for your kind words, Quincy. See y'all.